right, everybody, welcome to the K&M 495 Sportscast. As always, this is Mike, and like always, I am joined by my partner in life and future lover, Kyle Ronick. Kyle, how are you doing tonight?
Doing awesome, man. How'd you celebrate your 4th of July?
I drank about it. I drank a lot. A lot of alcohol. I got sunburned pretty bad. It was very hot out. I couldn't find my 1776 SPF for America. So
Freedom sun lotion.
Freedom suntan lotion. What'd you do?
Oh, nothing, man. We just had a good time. I got to ride in a hot rod. That was a lot of fun.
That's American.
James has a hot rod. Yeah, it was awesome.
Every time I hear a hot rod, I always think of Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Yeah.
He's the man. So let's get in a little bit to the NBA, to the Wizards. They might be losing a very key piece to their team.
Yeah, the Nets offered Otto Porter a max deal.
4 years, $106 million.
Now, Otto is a restricted free agent, so the Wizards have the option to match by Saturday. But we're both hoping that they pull that money out their pocket and they go sign him because, with the East, with the Celtics now signing Gordon Hayward now, the East is getting significantly better. And so losing a piece that got you to the place where they were last year, being in the second round, you don't really, without a draft pick, without a first round or second round draft pick, you need to keep that core together.
Right. I don't know if I would necessarily agree that the East is getting better, but I mean, the two teams, like you're hearing right now that the Celtics are trying to get Marc Gasol. Like, those two teams, the Cavs and the Celtics, like they're always going to be good.
Right. But we can both agree, though, when it came down to the East, it was only 3 teams.
Right. Oh, yeah. The East was a joke last year.
It was the Cavs, Celtics, and Wizards.
Right.
And so those are the guys that we have to measure up against this next season.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm measuring it on.
Definitely. Okay.
I don't mean obviously I don't mean the entire East because everyone and their mother has left the East now.
Paul George
and gone to the West.
Everybody. Yeah. I mean, that's true. But Otto Porter is such a key to this offense. He doesn't put up gaudy numbers. He's not going to put up 28 a night or anything. But I mean, last year he averaged 13.4 points, 6.2 rebounds with 1.5 steals while shooting 51.6% from the floor and 43.4% from deep.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's huge to
put
lose.
that in baseball terms. That's basically saying that a runner's getting on base 40% of the time. With Otto, he's making his three-pointers 40% of the time. That is unreal.
He was amongst the top in the NBA at three-point shooting. So, I mean, that's huge. Porter, this season, he was one of 2 qualified players who shot better than 50% from the floor and over 40% from distance while averaging at least 10 points. So,
wow.
You can't lose him. He's good all around, man. He really is. And he's a local guy. He's from Georgetown.
Now, if he can get I really would like him, if we're going to sign him, I'd really like him to get his work on his defense this summer.
He has the potential to be such a good defender. I mean, when he was coming out, he was compared to Tayshaun Prince.
He's a lengthy guy.
Similar player.
Yeah. He's a lengthy guy. He could be in your face, play the perimeter, but right now he can only really match up against twos, against shooting guards, those kind of soft guys. If you start asking him to go against small forwards, and he's going to get dominated, and he's not very good. That's the one aspect I'd like to see. Maybe I'd like to see him put on some meat. He's a skinny guy. Yeah,
he's a long, lanky guy.
Yeah, so really people are going to try to take him in the post, but he's not the fastest guy.
Yeah,
he definitely gets taken advantage of with the quick steps, and obviously he's playing in the NBA.
Yeah,
but
he's always been very good at using his length. But you're right, like a lot of his foot speed and stuff. Like when he's playing defense, it's hard for him against quicker players and those players out on the wing. And the NBA has so many super athletic small forwards. Yeah. So I mean, he definitely needs to work on that a little bit. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't see. I would not want to leave Washington, who's finally like on the rise and they're finally becoming good, to go to a dumpster fire piece of shit team like the Nets. Like they're so bad. Yeah. They don't have a first round pick for a while. And that sucks because they're so bad. They just traded Brook Lopez. I mean, they got D'Angelo Russell, but cool.
And to even make it worse is that John did not sign the Supermax offer that the Wizards offer him. 4 years, $168 million guaranteed. When you break it down, he would be getting paid more money, I think $1 million more a year than Steph Curry that got offered.
Did you see that it was like a visual of the top 3 players who just signed, like Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry, and Blake Griffin, how much money they made? They made $0.5 million less than 20 different NFL starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's
and they had all the top 20 paid-wise starting quarterbacks. Like, that is ridiculous. Just those three. NBA money, man, they're starting to get baseball money.
And it's true, but like you look at the NFL and it's like it's a gigantic this big. They own a day of the week.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
There's more money in this than anything, and for some reason, I guess you could say it's because of how many players they have on their teams.
Right,
obviously.
and they only play 16 games.
But I mean, these guys do deserve more money in their pockets.
Exactly. I mean, baseball players are making fuck you money. Basically. That's what they're making. I mean, basically, they're talking about Bryce Harper. Possibly at first, everybody was talking about him making $400 million a year, and you're like, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Now they're saying he could make upwards of $500 million a year.
Not a
that
year.
Is crazy.
Overall,
not a year on his
yes.
contract. Yeah, no. If he made that in a year,
$500 million a year,
that would be tight.
Dude.
That'd be awesome. I'm in the Oof.
Well, like the funny thing about one thing I wanted to bring up, I know it has nothing to do with the Wizards. We're going to get back on track, but when you're talking about parents and their kids, right, and you're looking at it now and seeing the repercussions from the NFL and the head trauma, the CTE, and everything. And you see all the money flowing around in baseball and the NBA.
Yeah.
It almost makes you wonder as a parent, like saying, wow, maybe I should push my kid.
I know a lot of parents who won't let their kids play football just because of all the concussion stuff that's came out. You can't hate them. I mean, hey, I think that there will very shortly, like the next generation, there will be, the talent will not be as good.
Yeah, I've said for a while that I honestly believe that the NFL is going to transition into a flag football almost in a way. And you're starting to see, like you're seeing with the tackles,
right?
You're
all
seeing
the rule changes.
You're seeing with the kickoffs, everything is changing, and I really see it going in the way of flag because that's the only way this thing is going to be able to work. I mean, if you keep allowing guys to have helmets on and using it as a weapon, I mean, every football player is going to tell you that they use it as a weapon.
Oh yeah,
and you take that helmet away though, and that face mask, I don't think guys are flying head first anymore.
No, well, I mean, you look at rugby.
Yeah.
Look at rugby. People are doing, but there's also less concussions in rugby because when you don't have a helmet, you're smarter.
Yeah.
Like, you know that you have to take care of it.
And you actually are tackling with your body the way you're supposed to do it. I remember Pete Carroll geniusly 2 years ago. Is geniusly a word? I don't know. But 2 years ago.
It is now.
In their training camp, they actually were showing rugby videos on how to tackle.
On form and technique.
Exactly,
and
on form and everything. So that way you're tackling with your body, you're actually wrapping, and then you're bringing it to the
shoulder,
down.
keeping your head
You're not
to the
just
side.
running full speed at a guy and then just diving right at his body with your head.
And I mean, that's a lot of the reason why NFL players do get so many more concussions than people like rugby. Like, they're just the fundamentals are there. They use technique because they don't want that to happen. They don't want to get hurt. Why would you want to get hurt?
Yeah.
But when you have a helmet on, you have pads on, you feel like you're almost superhuman. You know, I mean, you used to see Sean Taylor, people like Roy Williams, all those heavy hitters do that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And nowadays they'd get fined every play.
Brandon Mayweather.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Case A right there. Brandon Mayweather just charging first at everyone that he sees.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That I do see that happening. Like you said, I do know a lot of parents who will not let their kids play. They just don't want them to, and you can't blame them.
All right, well, let's wrap up this segment kind of going over the NBA and the free agency that has gone on so far. Crazy free agency as of late. There's echoes that the Celtics are looking to trade for Marc Gasol.
Yeah, they have the ammo to do it. They really do. I mean, they have like a first-round pick, 1 or 2 first-round picks every year until 2021.
Yeah.
I mean, they can, and it's teams like the Nets first-round picks, you know, the Lakers, stuff like that. So, I mean, they're going to be high picks, and they can get rid of that. And on top of that, they just drafted Jaylen Brown.
Yep.
I don't know if he would be part of the deal, but he could be. I mean, if you think about that, trading some of those players to a rotation with Isaiah Thomas, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford, and then you had Marc Gasol to that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's going to be a very, very good team.
Very good team.
That's already a matchup nightmare for the Wizards.
Exactly.
I mean, the best big man we have that's actually being able to play every night is Marcin, and our fan base is already complaining about him now.
Exactly.
Imagine going against the Celtics multiple times a year with Horford and Marc Gasol.
Yeah.
That's going to be what a matchup that would be, though.
That'd be fun to watch. Definitely. I mean, they're looking to make their team so good right now, the Celtics, and they're in the great position to do it. They've done wonders. I mean, I hate it. I really do hate it. You see the shift in the NBA.
Big thing is Derrick Rose will meet with the Clippers today.
Really?
Actually, he's supposed to meet with them. So maybe something comes from that. I mean, it's Derrick Rose, but
now.
I mean,
he'll blow out his knee.
Same point. It's something. But the Clippers, the Hawks, and the Nuggets actually agreed in principle to a 3-way trade today. the Nuggets agreed to let go of Gallinari to the Clippers on a 3-year, $65 million contract.
Yeah.
And then the Hawks will receive Jamal Crawford and Diamond Stone, the Maryland player from last year, and a 2018 first-round pick and cash from the Clippers. And Denver will receive Atlanta's 2019 second-round pick via Washington.
Wow, okay.
Womp, womp.
Yep, there we go. Clearing out space.
Yeah, dude.
I'd imagine that's what we're doing.
Exactly.
We have to be. I mean, the Wizards, they just signed Jody Meeks. And I mean, Jody Meeks, how much can he really bring to the table? I mean, I understand that he's just a backup player, he's a role player, and we need to fix our bench, but we do need to make a splash because you see these other teams getting better. You know Cleveland's going to end up doing something to game some players. The Celtics are trying, and they've already improved.
Yeah.
We haven't improved really much.
And Melo also came out and said that he would accept the trade buyout. And then to be able to go either to Houston or the Cavaliers. And it makes you think that with the Celtics getting Hayward and then possibly getting Marc Gasol, that you know that LeBron's going to be saying, hey, man, you guys got to get me something here.
Now he's going to be in Dan Gilbert's ear. He's going to be like, look, we need something. We have to. And, I mean, they do. It's just so frustrating right now because it's like we haven't been able to sign anybody for a long time. Anybody, really. And, I mean, nobody wants to come to D.C., it seems like, unless you're the Redskins and you're just overpaying players. But, like,
overpaying,
for the Wizards, for the Nationals, nobody wants to come here, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, and it kind of blows your mind, because it's not like we're bad teams, especially the Nationals.
I know.
When guys turn to the Nationals. The Wizards, for the longest time, you could understand why. But now when there's something here that is to be built on, there's something that, obviously, I guess you could say it goes into the fact that guys know that LeBron's in Cleveland in the East.
Yeah.
And they just don't want to deal with that headache of knowing that there's not a very good chance that you're going to
You got to get through the
LeBron.
Cavs. Yeah.
But, I mean, if the Wizards were going to do it, they'd have to get Durant, honestly. I know he's not going to come here.
Yeah, but there's really no other,
Yeah.
No.
I mean, because he's actually a pretty good defender. I mean, he proved that in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah,
when he was matched up
yeah.
on LeBron was shooting, like 20% when he was on, when Kevin Durant was on him.
Crazy.
So it would immensely help us. But I really like these signings just because it just shows they understand that a fifth grader could understand that the defense was a huge issue last year.
Right.
In the playoffs specifically. So knowing this and saying that the backups and the bench are so important for us to solidify, I get it. But I need to see something else, another player that we can hold our hat on when we go to the bench. Because allowing to keep getting these backups and these guys that aren't difference makers is still going to have John and Bradley
playing
going through this crazy minutes.
Right.
And we need to change that because they're on borrowed time.
And who knows? Maybe Wall and Beal, this is like the year that they take the next step and they become like elite. Like if they could, that would be great. Like that'd be awesome. But, like, that's why we need to keep Porter. You need to keep this team around them for them to succeed. And it's just, it doesn't look like it's happening. I really hope that we have a few days to try to match the offer for Porter, which we need to. We have to.
I honestly believe that if Porter was able to score on his own with being able to have the ball in his hands and create his own shot, then, I would think that they would sign it. No, they would already have it. Yeah. They would already have a contract. Yeah. But because he relies so much on the ball placement from Wall and the entire team, that's why maybe they're chilling back on it. But, I mean, if he can prove that his defense has improved from last year, I think that it would be more than worth it to pay that $100.
We've known all year that in order to keep Porter, we're basically going to have to give him a max deal.
Yeah.
We've known that.
I mean,
everyone talked about.
Everyone now is getting max deals.
Yeah, and it's always been talked about, does he deserve it, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, that's just the way the NBA is. It's similar to Kirk. You just got to pay him because that's what the market dictates right now. You have to. And we need to keep Porter. Who are we going to get to step in for Porter if he's not there?
Yeah. You definitely have to think about that. I mean, the guy I would love, the guy I really like a lot is Trevor Ariza. If we could try to find a way to get Trevor Ariza
but even
back.
he hasn't been what he has been.
Yeah. But, I mean, why would he want to leave the Rockets?
Right.
But he's a great defender. He can knock down threes. Obviously, he's not going to be shooting 40% from the three like Otto does.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is a guy that can come in and automatically just come in and give you points and give you good defense. And I think that's something you can also think about.
That's something, that's like if you do end up losing Otto, that would be one of the next best things for a replacement. Just, I mean, similar, but we have to keep Otto. I want to keep Otto. I love Otto.
Yeah.
Plus, how many people do you know named Otto?
Yeah. It's true.
None.
No, not many. Not that many at all.
His parents must have hated him naming him that. Ugh, Jesus.
I was telling my girlfriend, because the kids topic always gets brought up, right? And
That's tight.
the name I always want is Enzo.
Enzo. Are you Italian?
No, But yeah, I am Italian, actually. And she's always saying, well, if you name our kid Enzo, he's already going to be in prison by the time he's 5 years old and everything. Like
Valid
that.
point.
Right? And I was I tweeted it out and I was like, look, if Trey Turner's parents can name him Trey, then I can name my damn son Enzo. I don't care. All right?
You could, but yeah, he will be in jail probably.
Yeah,
16.
True.
At least
just because he's my kid, not because of his name.
No, yeah, both. Definitely.
My kid's going to be pushing weight by the time he's 5 years old.
Hey, and that's tight, though.
I got that KFC gravy.
That's hey, if that's what it takes, I'd love to get a KFC around me right now.
Right.
Love KFC gravy. Let's get a little bit to the Redskins and some NFL.
Yes, absolutely. It's heating up, man. It can't come soon enough.
I know. I'm so excited.
Next month.
July is the last month without football.
Yeah, and training camp starts July 25th.
Yep. End of July. Yeah. Right around that time.
I can't wait. There's so many question marks around the Redskins. Big things coming up. And, I mean, we can't ignore the elephant in the room being Kirk's contract talks.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean...
Well, we're coming up on, less than 2 weeks now?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, what is it, July...
It's July 17th, yeah. It's that Monday.
They pushed it back because it was on a Saturday, yep.
So, we're close, man. We're getting
there. We need to make some sort of progress. At least make him an offer, something, and not an insulting offer. Just something to let him know that we're trying and like we do like you and we want you to stay here. But like we've talked about, I wouldn't blame Kirk to just be like sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost every podcast we're talking about it. You know, I mean, it's that big of a deal. I mean, it's watered down at this point. But I mean, you're basically telling a fan base that you don't need something that they haven't had in over 20 years. Telling them that you have a leaky roof. You have a leaky roof for 20 years, and you finally find let's say, a piece of gum or something. You just stick up there, and it's working. It might not be the best thing possible, but it's working. And it has gotten you to places where we almost made the playoffs 2 years in a row. First time under Dan Snyder that's happened.
Yeah.
We were so close, and yes, Kirk had a bad game. I get it. But still being able to get there. Because, I mean, how often in the last 20 years were we in December just non-existent, just a joke and embarrassment
all the time
in December?
Yeah.
You know, we weren't playing for anything. At least the Giants game mattered.
Yeah, I know. And that's, I mean, look, like it or not, Kirk technically has had back-to-back winning seasons. Yeah. I mean, at least we made the playoffs the first year, and we were real close to making it last year. We haven't had a franchise quarterback since Joe Theismann.
Yeah,
we've won two Super Bowls with Rippon and Williams, but they were journeymen. They sucked.
I honestly believe that Theismann is another journeyman. I think that,
but I mean, like consistently for a few years, like back to back to back.
Yeah, but I'm saying when I think of franchise quarterback, I'm thinking of 5+ years of being there.
Yeah, well, Theismann was right around that area.
Yeah,
I mean, but he was good, and he won a Super Bowl and his injury. Yeah, but he's still, I mean, like consistently, like the only other one in that time period you can really say Mark Brunell. Like he was good for like 2 years.
Well, it goes back to
back even further.
Sonny and Sam. That's why I honestly believe it's like, look, we're like almost like the Bears in a way. Where the Bears have never had one. Exactly,
just never had one.
And so. And like it's so important to have it, you know, in this day and age, especially in the NFL, with it being such a pass-happy league.
It's a quarterback's league.
Yeah, and knowing that hopefully our running game is better this year. But our running game wasn't the top tier where it should be with the offensive line that we have now.
Right.
But seeing that he was still able to do things and still be able to throw for almost 5,000 yards.
Yeah.
And look, you can say all you want. You can talk about how Deshaun is so good and Pierre was really good. But think to yourself, realistically, and tell me that Pierre can carry a quarterback to 5,000 yards.
No.
Look at me realistically and tell me that Deshaun Jackson can get a quarterback, non-injury, without injury, to 5,000 yards. No. Granted, we have Jordan Reed and Vernon Davis, you're right, and Jamison Crowder. But those guys are here. So you can't make the argument that he's not going to do it again. You can't make it because we have the tools here.
Right.
I can't understand the argument of people saying that Kirk Cousins is only a product of his environment instead of him actually being the environment.
Right. Kirk, he's done some unbelievable things. I mean, you've seen it the last 2 years. He's broken all sorts of franchise marks. He's done all this stuff, and you need that in today's NFL. You need a quarterback who can keep you competitive. Just about every game we were at least competitive. I mean, we weren't getting blown out really this year at all. And I mean, once you put the right, like it's proven right now with Kirk that we have a quarterback who can win you football games. So if you plug the pieces around him and figure it out, fix that defense, and obviously we lost those 2 receivers, but we got more receivers back. I mean, so we are right there, and I just hate that it's just going to end up more than likely being like, all right, now let's take this guy away and start over again.
Exactly.
Like, it's just so frustrating.
And like it's so crappy to say, because I don't want to give Dan Snyder, I don't want to give Bruce any credit. This is not what I'm meaning by when I say this, but I've had more fun watching Redskins games these past 5 years, dating back to 2012, than I did the first 20.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we talked about it in one of the podcasts a long time ago, saying, when's the last time you could say that the Redskins were in the football game every Sunday or Monday or Thursday in the fourth quarter?
Right.
You know, how, like, in every game it was like that. I know the Steelers ran away with it in the fourth quarter, but it was still a game before they ran with it, you know, in the fourth quarter. There wasn't that often that ever happened. So you can't ever say that, as of these last 5 years, this has been the only time that we've actually been proud and to say that we've been in games like this. You know, I just don't understand why they want to run away from the idea of getting away from the happiness that we've had.
Right. We finally have it. And we've tried all these, you know, I mean, we drafted Heath Schuler back in the day. He didn't work out, you know. I mean, we signed an aging Mark Brunell. We tried to draft Jason Campbell. You know, we tried to draft Patrick Ramsey. We tried to trade for Donovan McNabb. We tried to use plug-in players like Rex Grossman, John Beck, and it just doesn't work. It hasn't worked. Now it's finally working, and we're being good, and we're competitive, and we're in every game, and now it's just like, now we just might be screwed because of the way that the management handled it.
Right, and the worst argument I always get into people with this is saying, well, he does it against bottom defenses and not very good defenses, and his win record against teams that are 9+ after the season, that are winning teams, is not good at all.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's better than losing to the crappy teams like we've been doing for 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't care. We got something here.
I would rather have us have a quarterback who's at least competitive against those teams than a quarterback who's going to lose to the Lions, or back in the day, it was like the shitty Lions and the Browns. And all, like, we need this player to actually get to where we want to go, and we're finally on the right track, and we talk about it every week, but now it's just going to all come crashing down, and I have no expectations for it, and it sucks. And I don't want to have to rely on another draft.
No, we because it's such a gamble.
Especially if we do good this year, and then we're stuck with a pick in the 20s.
Yeah.
Then what are we going to do? Just trade the farm again like we did for RG3? That worked. That's worked out well.
Yeah, and the one thing you don't want is Bruce Allen and Dan Snyder going to scout quarterbacks, because we've seen that they can't do that.
They can't scout quarterbacks. Yeah, exactly.
And Grant Paulson, Scott McLuhan, they all saw Kirk 3 years ago and said, sign him now. They had the opportunity to sign Kirk to a backup contract, like $6 million a year, 2 or 3 years ago, and they didn't want to do it.
We've wasted so much money now on the franchise tag.
All because they didn't want to hurt Robert's feelings.
Yeah.
That was it. That's all it came down to.
Robert's still in our news.
I know.
There's a post yesterday, RG3 had his kid, which congratulations, that's awesome.
Yeah,
but,
congrats to him,
look at what he did with his last kid, you know. He just kind of left his wife and them to dry. I just hate RG3 always dominates this area's news, and he sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve the spotlight whatsoever. I don't understand why.
He's like an ex that, like, you were in love with for some reason and nobody knew why, and then, like, they still pop up on your Facebook timeline every once in a while, and you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? Ugh, look at this person. Disgusting.
That's how everyone views my girlfriend when they see her with me. Like, dude, why is she with that dude?
Yeah, right, babe, but that's good.
Yeah.
If you get a girl that's hotter than you, you won. You can,
true.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just chilling back, man, enjoying time.
Exactly. That's all you can do. Let's get in a little bit. We've been doing like our top 5 positions in the NFL and stuff. You want to? Let's get into some cornerbacks.
Yeah. So just based on the cornerback position alone, who would you say are the top 5 corners in the league?
Just corners.
Yes. My number 5 is Josh Norman.
Okay.
Who's your number 5?
My number 5 is... Ooh, hold on, where did I put that? My number 5 is Aqib Talib.
Aqib Talib at number 5, okay. Yeah. I just don't... with Aqib being so old now, I can't say that I'm comfortable with putting him in the top 5.
He's had very good years the last few years.
Okay. I know.
Yeah.
He also benefits from Von Miller.
Right.
He benefits from that defense.
Hey, we also saw Josh Norman benefit from a good defense.
Yes, that's very true. That's a very solid point. Very solid point. But being on one of the worst defenses last year, definitely brought his numbers down.
Exactly.
But number 4, who do you got?
I have Josh at number 4.
You have Josh at 4? Yep. I have Joe Hayden at 4.
Hayden. See, he's fallen off the last few years.
He had a very good year last year. I believe he had 4 interceptions last year. Was up in the top ranks in interceptions.
Right. There was a long time where he was one of the best in the league. He just, like you said, shitty team.
But I mean, imagine being like a star on Cleveland.
Right.
Like, like every day is just a deflating thing because you're the only one you're going to lose.
It takes a special player like Joe Thomas to be solid and like good
all the time, because especially with corners have to have confidence.
Right.
I mean, you look at it with Sherman, Norman, these guys, you have to have confidence to be good at that position.
Oh, yeah.
And when you don't have that confidence in your team, you're not going to. It's not going to show
all the
up
best
for
ones
you.
were cocky like that.
Yeah,
Sanders.
it's true.
What about
so
your
true.
number 3? I have at number 3. I have Richard Sherman at 3.
You have 3. I have Chris Harris at 3.
Okay.
Just because of Chris Harris. Not saying that Chris Harris isn't a good corner or as good as Richard Sherman, but just saying because of his height, the disadvantage there, I would give Sherman the nod over him.
Well, hey, what about who do you have for number 2?
Well, my number 2 is Richard Sherman.
My number 2 is Chris Harris.
Oh, no way.
There
Okay,
we go.
we flip-flop each one, but these are easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just goes down to preference. I personally, I think Sherman's more of, he's more of a product of his team. He has been. He's still been very good, but I mean, that's secondary. Like, come on. And then Chris Harris, he's another guy. He plays in a great secondary, but he was doing good even before Aqib Talib got there. He didn't allow a touchdown for like 18 straight games.
Yeah, he was extremely good.
So you can make arguments for both of them. What about number 1?
It's Patrick Peterson.
Me too.
By far.
You can't. Patrick Peterson's Patrick.
I mean, Patrick Peterson was such a athletic, just piece of work that they were even putting him in the pros, trying to put him on offense. Right. Almost like Dion.
Yeah.
In a way.
He can do anything. He's somebody, he follows
his
around
punt returns, kick returns.
The number 1 wide receiver at every game. Yeah. He follows them everywhere. And he'll give up some plays sometimes. I mean, everybody does. But he's so versatile. You can use him anywhere. That's what. So we got a lot that we can do today. We can also do top 5 cornerback tandems.
Yes.
Is that one?
Yes, I would love to do that.
All right, let's go. I'm going to start off. Number 5 for me. From the Chargers, I have Jason Verrett and Casey Hayward.
Oh, that's a very good spot right there. I mean, they were undercover last year. Not that many people knew how good
Verrett
San Diego's defense was.
Very good last year. Yeah.
Joey Bosa getting added there. That definitely helped them out
a lot. Who do you have at number 5?
Number 5, I have Janoris Jenkins and Eli Apple from the Giants.
Yep. See, I have them at number 4. They're my next team. I mean, they balled out last year, and especially if you add in like Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, who's more of they're very good. Their trio would be among the top 2 or 3, I would say, as a trio. But those two, I have them at number 4. Who do you have at number 4?
Before last season, I had actually said that my most overrated person I thought in the NFL was Janoris Jenkins.
Yeah.
I thought that he benefited a lot from Landon Collins. And Eli Apple, he is a specimen. He is a very good player. I just don't think Janoris Jenkins is really that good. Yeah. He just gets helped out a lot.
I think he proved that last year. Yeah. I don't know, he had a baller year. But you're right. It's when these players do good, it's because people around them are doing good.
But my number 4, this is all a projection. My number 4 is Norman and Breland.
Okay.
I just think, hearing the reports coming out, I really think that this can be the duo that can be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, Breland, he was just our defense last year was so bad. I know a lot goes into it, but Breland especially. I mean, but you're right, he has the potential to be up there. They should
just because
We've seen Breland done very good.
He's just going into a contract year, right? And just seeing how Breland is as a player, following him on Twitter, finding out his personality a little bit, and finding out that this is a guy who takes the weight of the negative criticism all the time. I think this is a guy that coming into contract year, he's going to go in with the work mindset, and I think that. This can be a very good tandem.
I think that is a very good outlook. I like it. I think it's a little bit homerish.
Yeah, it is.
We both said that coming in. But when we're making these, we're like, I'm going to be a fucking homer.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's just it's hard for me because I hate being a homer.
But no, I could see it go either way. I could see Breland either just doing what he did last year. I could see him stepping up and being like, look, I'm a good player. I deserve a big contract. Who do you have at number 3?
At 3, I have A.J. Bouye and Jalen Ramsey.
Okay. For me, at number 3, I have Malcolm Butler and Stephon Gilmore.
Okay. That is a very... Dude, Stephon Gilmore had the top 5 pass defense in the Bills last year.
Right, and he's going to a Belichick defense.
Yes.
That team, playing... It could work out. I just think that based on potential, it could because he's very good. He's very naturally talented.
You saw what Malcolm Butler and Darrelle Revis did, and Darrelle Revis.
Right,
they took him to the Super Bowl. So that can be a crucial piece for them, especially Stephon Gilmore.
See, you had AJ Bouye, however you pronounce it, at number 3. I have them at number 2.
Okay,
Jalen Ramsey and AJ Bouye, just because last year Bouye was so good. Bouye was amazing.
So that's where we flip flop because I have Malcolm Butler and Gilmore at number 2. So we just flip flop there.
We switch them, and I'm sure we can both agree on number 1.
Yeah, being Harris and Talib and
no fly zone. And really, they would even be the number 1 trio because then if you add Roby in there, I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's
one of the best
great
slot
corners. Yeah.
Slot corners in the NFL.
Yeah.
All right, who are your top 5 safety tandems in the NFL?
Well, my number 5 is Tyrann Mathieu and Antoine Bethea, just purely based on tackling, range, and the ability to play multiple positions. I know they lost Tony Jefferson, but I think Antoine Bethea is a perfect replacement for a guy who knows the system and is smart and is a sure tackler.
And Tyrann Mathieu especially, he can do anything.
Yes.
I have them at 4. At 5, I have Malcolm Jenkins and Rodney McLeod up there in Philly. I mean, they're good. They have potential. I know McLeod didn't have the best season last year, but Jenkins still is great, and I think that McLeod's going to bounce back.
The only reason that tandem is on there is because 90% of it is Malcolm Jenkins being one of the best safeties in the league.
He is. He's so good.
Yeah.
What about, who do you have at 4? Is that who you have at 4?
At 4, is Malcolm Jenkins and McLeod, yes.
What about 3? Who do you have at 3?
Well, I think that you and I agree 100% on the top 3. Number 3 for me is Eric Berry and Rod Parker.
That's who I have as well.
Yeah. Eric Berry just playing his mind out last year, just was leading in interceptions. I mean, was getting up there with corners with interceptions, and that's almost unheard of.
Eric Berry, he doesn't have a similar stature to him, but the way that he does everything, he can play strong or free, and he can play a center field role, or he can hit. He's almost similar to Sean Taylor. Like, there hasn't been many safeties since Sean that have been similar to him, besides maybe like Cam or somebody. But
Earl is like the range guy. Earl can go from sideline to sideline. Yeah.
So we both have them at number 3. Who do you have at number 2?
Number 2 for me is Eric Weddle and Jefferson.
That's who I have at number 2 as well.
Yeah, Eric Weddle being maybe the best free safety in the league.
Right, he's getting up there in age, but he's still so
next
good.
to Earl Thomas. But I mean, statistically, Eric Weddle was the best safety in the league last year. I mean, granted, Earl did get hurt, but Eric Weddle deserved it.
Yeah,
I mean,
Eric Weddle, he was so good. He was so underrated when he was on the Chargers.
The pride of the white people, man. Right? I'm telling you, man.
Him and Harrison Smith.
Yeah,
we got some ballers out there at safety.
We have two.
Yeah, we have 2, but they're good. They're both very good. They're among the best in the league.
I can't wait for a white corner.
That's
just waiting. Yes.
No,
white people can't dance, but can play corner.
I think that there's one coming out within the next couple of years. Actually, out of college, I forget who it is, but I think I saw him on one of the mock drafts in like 2018 or 2019. And I was like,
yeah, he's already
fail.
He's already a bust.
Yeah, 100%. But then again, I didn't think we'd see a white running back who's actually good while McCaffrey came.
That's true.
But corner's a little bit different. There hasn't been one since Jason Sehorn. So I don't know. Who do you have at number 1?
Number 1, we both agree.
Everybody
it's
does.
Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor.
Right. So our top 5s are basically pretty similar.
They are the Titans or the safety tandem.
They're so good. They complement each other so well too.
They really
Cam
do.
Chancellor's the physical presence,
the in the box safety tackles and hits.
One of the best center fielders in the NFL, and he can hit too. I mean, he can.
The crazy thing about him was he was questioning retirement. Last season, it's like, dude, you're really young, you know. But I mean, he's already won a Super Bowl. I couldn't imagine being on that pedestal and saying, you know what, I think it's time to walk away.
Yeah, right. I remember him coming out of Texas. He was so good.
Yeah.
He always looked weird at the combine because like his arms are moving so fast and he's such like a shorter safety and like his arms just looked like T-Rex arms all the time. Like I was like, that sucks, man. He must have tiny arms.
Right.
So now that we've done safety tandems, cornerbacks, we can go into the best 5 secondaries in the NFL.
Yeah.
You want to get into a little bit of that?
Yeah, number 1.
I'm starting off at number 5.
Okay, what are you going with?
Number 5 for the NFL secondaries. I have the New England Patriots with Malcolm Butler, Stephon Gilmore, Patrick Chung, Devin McCourty, Eric Rowe. I have them at number 5, but Belichick's defense, they could rise.
Yeah, Matt Patricia is Bill Belichick in a different form.
Yeah, exactly. And he's been such a good defensive coordinator really since he's taken over there.
That hybrid defense. I mean, they have. Like, I always preach with his, or we always go back and forth about guys that can play multiple positions. But that's what they have with everyone there. I mean, everyone can move and play different positions. Patrick Chung being another great guy that can do that.
Who do you have at number 5?
Number 5, I have the Patriots. I agree with you.
Right,
I agree with you 100% on that.
Number 4, I have the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Eric Berry, Marcus Peters is he's I think next year he's going to be mentioned among like the top 5 corners. He could very well. He's such a ball hawk.
I mean, you could say that. I know we're a homer. This is a DC Sports whatever, but I'm just saying that Marcus Peters is what Breland was like supposed to be and viewed as.
He's a little bit more athletic, but Breland's the same physical, taller.
Granted, Breland fell to like the 3rd round because of his attitude and all that. But
that's valid. I mean, they're both physical like that. I mean,
No, I completely agree with you there. I'll take that.
What about for number 3? Top 5 secondaries. Number 3. I have the Giants. Norris Jenkins, Eli Apple, DRC, Landon Collins. I mean, they played so well last year.
Yeah, you're right. I'll give you the nod on that. All
right, number 2. For number 2, I have the Seahawks. The Legion of Boom, of course. Yeah. Sherman, Chancellor Thomas. It doesn't even matter who you put there at the other corner, whether it's Jeremy Lane or whoever it is. So I have them at 2, and of course 1. I have the Broncos, the no-fly zone. Aqib Talib, Chris Harris, Bradley Roby, T.J. Ward, Darian Stewart. They all just complement each other so well with that pass rush.
I disagree with you there. I flipped Seattle and Denver.
See, I just think after last year, Seattle kind of fell off a little bit. I know that they had some injuries too, like Cam Chancellor missed some time, but I think that they're kind of on the decline right now. Right. But hey, I mean, you can't argue with it if you put them number 1. They've been the best secondary in the league for the last 5-6 years.
I mean, granted, they are getting older, but I mean, when you have Cam, Earl, and Richard Sherman,
they complement each other so well.
Look, we've seen it multiple times. They just keep manufacturing guys playing that right corner spot.
And it doesn't even matter who it is.
Every year, and it's a top 5 secondary every year. I mean, it just shows you.
It was Byron Maxwell at one point. He got a huge contract to go to Philly. Now he's on the Dolphins. He played in Philly for 1 year.
Yeah, Brandon
Browner was a beast over there. Imagine, God, that was such a big secondary. Yeah, Brandon Browner's 6'3".
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
He's 6'3", 6'4". He's a big dude playing corner. So, and he has never been the same.
I make the argument that they are number 1 in my eyes.
Yeah, hey, you can't argue with that. Either one.
Because when I look at the Broncos, all I'm looking at is Chris Harris, Aqib Talib, and Brandon Roby. Yeah. But if you add that with and you compare it,
T.J. Ward's pretty good too.
He is very good. You're absolutely right. But when I'm comparing it onto a level of Cam, Earl, and Richard, that's why I give them the up on that.
Yeah. But I think what I was going with more, that's very true. I mean, they're like the pinnacle. They're all so good, among the best of their positions. But I just feel like those 3, just Talib and Harris, there hasn't been a corner duo like that in a little while. And then Bradley Roby, he's so good. But no, you're right. I mean, T.J. Ward's not what he once was. He used to be a lot better. He's fallen off a little bit. So
he has.
Yeah,
the Redskins were interested in him a couple years ago.
Yeah, I know. We've been interested in a lot,
dude. Every year we're looking for a safety.
Think about the Cardinals' safeties last year. Swearinger was among the best according to Pro Football Focus. Tony Jefferson's a baller. He's a beast. Tyrann Mathieu, I know he got hurt, but damn.
And they lose 2 guys and then just reload.
Yeah, then they just get Antoine Bethea, who's a tackling machine. Yeah, and they're good. They're golden.
I mean, granted, injuries could possibly happen, but I mean, with that Arizona defense, slowly but surely is getting chipped away.
Right, it is. That team, man, it's so sad.
It sucks. It's
I love
bad.
Bruce Arians.
I know he's my dude. He's a Virginia Tech alumni.
Big Virginia. Yeah, he was. He was their quarterback a long time ago.
Yes,
right?
And he was on the coaching staff too with Frank.
Yeah. Something like that. Bruce Arians is the man.
Dude, he really is. That's what I love. Well, I was watching last week the replay from the 2015 season when they were followed throughout the season.
Yeah. That was on a... Yeah.
I just love him as a coach and his mindset going into things and pumping guys up. I remember seeing when Tyrann Mathieu, I think he tore his ACL that year. I think it was, I think it was.
Yeah.
And he was in the room, and it was before their playoff game at home against the Packers in the NFC Championship. And he has all the guys on defense in the room. And he's talking to him, and he's like, I keep hearing people say that y'all are doing this for me. And he's like, screw that. Do this for y'all. I'm not out there. Don't do this for me. Don't worry about me. Let's do it for us. It's y'all. Because when I'm out there balling, I'm doing it for y'all. It's not doing it for me. I'm not doing it for one single person. I'm doing it for everyone.
You gotta love the Honey Badger.
Dude, hearing him say that, and I was like, for people to come out before the draft and say that he had character concerns and everything.
He's somebody, in college, he did, but he completely flipped, and he kind of proved that when he was out. He wasn't getting in trouble. He worked his ass off to get better. He learned he's one of the few people that actually, he got arrested and, did some dumb shit, and he learned his lesson, completely. He's one of the most, he does so much in charities and shit now.
But he got busted for pot.
Yeah, right.
It's not like you're a bad, you're not a bad person smoking pot.
No, but smoking pot, I've read, even just injecting one marijuana does make you gay.
It's true.
That's very true.
It's true.
I've heard that. So
I love that.
I read it on Facebook. You're not allowed to post anything on Facebook. That's not true. I think that was also probably a quote from Abraham Lincoln in 1964.
When he had it on his iPhone.
Yeah, he tweeted it and it was like lost amongst the older tweets, but it's true. One marijuana makes you a homosexual.
It's true,
which is fine. There's nothing wrong with being gay. But
so if you were
gay.
I was like doing predictions in my head, like just thinking, because I'm always thinking about the Redskins, and with the secondary alone, like what would you project the secondary being in the league, according to everything else?
The Redskins secondary is kind of tricky because they have so much potential. Like Josh Norman, obviously is Josh Norman. He's so good. It depends on Breland. I mean, it also apparently Fuller's been balling out so far. I mean, granted it's in short t-shirt and shorts, but I mean also Moreau coming back, and then we added Swearinger. We're moving Sua to safety, but there's also a lot of question marks. Just like moving Sua back to safety, if Swearinger can be the guy. At free
just safety. Like we talked about Arizona. I mean, with them losing Tony Jefferson and then losing Swearinger,
right? But
there's always going to be questions.
There's always is, but Bethea's more proved. Like Bethea's made some Pro Bowls, stuff like that. But he is older. You're right. But I don't. It just. I hope that they can finish top 15, something like that, top 15, top 12. But I think that we would have to really ball out to be considered up there, just because of how bad we've been over the past.
I mean, just hearing about it from the rookie minicamp and the actual minicamp for the guys, hearing that the defense was commanding.
Apparently,
over
they were
the
dominating.
And but you have to take it with a grain of salt, because then you're looking at the offense saying, well, these are guys that are just starting to blend together, right? And so you're seeing the hiccups because you're only getting a couple days to practice with them, honestly, but. If they can do that, I honestly believe that it could be easily top 15 for that secondary.
Yeah, they could. They have the talent.
It could be that by default, just because maybe our run defense doesn't improve at all, and so teams just literally are worried about running the ball on us and don't care about throwing anymore.
Right? Hey, that's true. That's very true. Plus, we do have a lot of talent back there. I mean, we've added so much on defense to like the front seven. I mean, I know we lost Chris Baker stuff, but like getting Jonathan Allen, then adding a couple other pieces, and obviously Zach Brown is going to be huge, I think, for us this year. That we really could. And I mean, if Gillette comes back and stuff, a good pass rush always helps your secondary.
Well, the one thing with Zach Brown that I've noticed is that he's not a guy that does well when the run is straight at him. He does well with the stretch plays, does well with the toss plays on the outside, uses speed like to the outside, and that's why I believe that they will use him in certain situations and pass situations, long downs. That's when he's going to be predominantly used.
He's been very good in passing scenarios, in coverage and stuff his whole career, really.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, this could be a team that could be top 15 or could plummet again to the bottom half.
Right, exactly. You never know, but if we have, like, our offense puts up similar numbers, and if we can get that defense in the top half of the NFL, we're going to be very good.
Very good.
We would be very good.
And then it just comes down to Kirk getting a great relationship with Terrell Pryor and Josh Doxson to make some moves.
Right. It's if we can do that and like the running game improves, obviously like somebody takes a hold of that job and we do a good job, then we would be very dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw that with the Cowboys last year. Their offense was good, very good, and their defense improved slightly, and they were one of the best teams in the NFL.
Right. I think the Redskins will automatically start with either a winning record or losing record based on if they pay Kirk Cousins.
Hey, they could.
I think that's an L first if it doesn't happen. But speaking of contracts, speaking of money, we actually haven't brought them up since they lost in the playoffs. Let's talk about a little bit of the caps. They've made some moves. We're only going into a little bit.
A little bit of the capitals.
They signed Burakovsky today to a 2-year, $6 million deal.
Yep.
They locked down Kuznetsov with a huge contract.
Yeah, I was about to say it was really big, right?
$62.4 million.
Damn.
Yeah. He's insane, and they also traded Johansson, which I really liked Johansson.
Yeah, everybody.
He's the worker, I mean, he had that playoff win for us in the first round, got us that win against Toronto, and he slapped it right two goals back to back to win us that game, and now he's gone.
Look, we kind of knew coming into free agency and stuff like that the Capitals are going to kind of basically have to start over. They're going to have to do a bunch of stuff, and I mean, they're making moves. They are making moves. I mean, it's just so frustrating with the Capitals.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is. I mean, but they're now you're seeing them let go of the older guys like Justin Williams, which is hard to see. I mean, for 2 years, you really were expecting him to do something.
Right.
But, I mean, it wasn't his fault. The guy played his ass off.
Yeah.
But you're starting to see them get rid of the older guys. Carl Alsner left. And telling these new guys, signing these guys like Connolly and these guys like Burakovsky and Kuznetsov, and now giving them, the only question mark is, are they going to be able to match the intensity and the consistency of Carl Osner and Justin Williams?
Exactly, and that's going to be a huge question mark. It's going to be very interesting to see the Capitals this season, like in the beginning of the season, to see how well they gel. Because, I mean, we're always a very good regular season team, we know that, but, I mean, we have lost some pretty key pieces, and it's going to be, I mean, we knew Shattenkirk was going to go. We knew that. We knew he was just a rental for the playoffs, basically, but it's going to be very interesting to see if this team can gel kind of right away and if they can just pick up where they left off or what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we inked Oshie, too, which was huge.
Yeah,
this is what we wanted.
Yeah, we
from
needed
the start.
that. We needed that, definitely.
I mean, really would like to see Oshie take more control of the Caps.
Yeah.
You know, just become more the leader. And not as disrespect to Ovi whatsoever.
No, but as he's getting older, you know,
but you know, that's not really like Ovi's bit. You know, Ovi isn't the kind of rah guy you ever see, but you know, you want to see the leader, the guy to take control.
Right. Exactly. And Ovi, like I said, as he's getting older and as he's just not, I mean, he just can't be as good as he used to be, but he's still a leader on that team. Like, people still look to him, so that'll be huge to see if he kind of steps aside a little bit and lets Oshie kind of take control.
Yeah. Which should honestly happen.
It should happen. We need that
kind of money.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it's crazy when you look at Oshie and Ovi. You look at them and they're the same age. You wouldn't think that.
Right.
You know?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
It's just because, I mean, really, if you think about it, Ovi's just been so dominant in the hockey world for so long, and as soon as he came, it was like, this kid's stud. And Oshie's always been very good too.
Yeah.
But Ovi was kind of like a different level. You know, he was always treated like among like the top.
Yeah, in hockey, the Russian and European guys get way more spotlight.
Especially,
than Americans.
when he was like coming out. He wasn't necessarily on a LeBron level because LeBron had an unreal amount of hype, but Ovi had an unreal amount of hype too.
Right, I'm sure in Russia it was just like the LeBron.
Oh yeah,
hype,
definitely. Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. But here in America,
Canada.
Yeah, and Canada. Oh God, they're so nice.
Oh God,
Everybody up there is so nice. Canada,
and their maple syrup.
Yeah, what a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, right.
They're tight though. I never met a Canadian who.
I respect anybody in their feelings, just like I respect you identifying as a gay fish. I don't judge.
That's true. Me and Kanye, we're two gay fishes. Let's get into the Nationals a little bit.
Yes.
Nationals, I think that their game might end up getting delayed. Or
it should. I mean, it's torrential downpour today.
Yeah, first
3-game winning streak.
I know. First pitch was supposed to be at 7:05. I haven't gotten any updates or anything, but let's see. I know it was supposed to be Roark pitching today. It was supposed to be Roark. Still pouring.
Yeah, it's not going to go down.
Yeah,
though.
it definitely won't.
But it just sucks because the Nats they're on a 3-game winning streak, but they're 5 for 5 in the last 10 games that they played.
Yeah. Harper, I know, was going to be sitting out tonight anyway.
Yeah.
So this was going to be their starting lineup. Brian Goodwin leading off, Michael Taylor second, Murphy third, Zimmerman fourth, Adam Lind fifth, Rendon still in that 6th spot, Wieters at 7, Stephen Drew, and then Tanner Roark.
Yeah, like after we talked about it last week, I really thought to myself, and I kind of understand where Dusty comes from when he's leaving Rendon in the 6th.
And because he's been balling right there.
Because he's been balling, and he's like, I don't want to change up and then screw
Don't
everything.
fix what ain't broken.
Yeah, then screw up him, and then when everyone comes back, then move him back to 6, and there's a chance he might not keep going, you know? But, I mean, we need something, and they've been playing well.
Right, but with the injuries, I feel like to Turner, like now you're kind of just missing somebody, and DeWorth especially. Now you're just that top of the lineup. Like, who does this scare? Yeah. Brian Goodwin, Michael Taylor, 1 and 2. Like that doesn't really scare anybody. I know Bryce is out, but I mean Murphy at 3, obviously that's huge. But I don't know. I just feel like especially like the top 3 is so important in baseball. Yeah. So I would love to see that, and then. Who knows? But yeah, who knows? I mean, it depends on Worth when he comes back. You know, Turner, obviously. And by the way, we thought Turner was going to be his injury was going to be a lot worse last week than it ended up being. Yeah,
actually, they're only saying 2 months.
It might even be less than that. They put him on the 10-day DL.
What?
Yeah.
For a broken wrist?
Yep. It was a bone. Way. Yeah. Swear to God. It was a bone in his wrist.
I thought it was much worse than what it was.
Yeah, apparently he played third. He didn't know that it was broken at all. There's a bunch of bones in your wrist, apparently. I forget who it was. It was one of our catchers a few years back. He actually got that bone removed. From his wrist, like it just doesn't really do anything. So he didn't really feel it. Okay. His hand was swollen. He was like, "What the hell?" But it's obviously going to be more than 10 days because I think that they'll probably just bring it back and rehab and stuff, and then maybe put him on the base pass stuff like that. But yeah, it might not be much of anything. It might just be 4 weeks.
The guys that we have replaced actually have been very well batting, and like Ryan Rayburn.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Rayburn hit a
317 right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Brian Goodwin has been batting 261. That's been an awesome feat for him. Good for him. And another guy we've brought up multiple times, Michael Taylor.
He's balling. He's playing good right now.
Bat average at 280.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. I like Michael Taylor. I remember when he was coming up through the minors. He was supposed to be a very good prospect. He was supposed to be good. And then, of course, Eaton went down, and we were kind of like, damn it, no, we have to rely on Turner. You can't do that. But he's played very well.
Give a lot of credit to Dusty because a lot of people were calling for Michael Taylor to come out and not be in the lineup anymore. But he stayed with him. He was consistently putting him in the lineup. People were questioning it. But now you're starting to see Michael Taylor actually perform like a pro,
right?
And actually develop, and a lot of credit to Dusty because he stuck with him.
He did, yeah, definitely. Michael Taylor would get so frustrating in the past years.
Yes, he would,
because he was just so inconsistent. Sometimes he would show great, and then it was just like, oh, what the hell? So when we got Eaton, everybody was kind of pumped because we are like, now Taylor can move to the bench, and he'll be fine. Then Eaton went down, but Taylor filled in. Filled in beautifully.
It was almost guaranteed that when Taylor got up, when there was people on base, that it was going to be a strikeout or a pop-up.
Right.
But now he's hitting doubles, getting extra base hits left and right, knocking in taters.
Yeah.
And so he's really played well this year, and I really believe it goes all to Dusty. Dusty trusted him. Dusty stayed with him, believed in him.
Yeah.
When everyone in the media, all the fans were criticizing him for it, saying, what are you doing? Why do you keep putting this guy in there and he keeps screwing it all up?
Right.
He's actually performing now.
Yeah, and I'm so happy to see that because I followed Michael Taylor since he was in AAA. He was supposed to be very good, and it's good to see. Let's Anthony Rendon. He's in the final voting for the All-Star game.
Good, he should be.
Make sure that you guys vote for Rendon.
Yes, please go vote for Rendon. Right, meow.
Rendon hashtag final vote. That's what you put, yep, and because he's going up against like Chris Bryant and stuff, and Chris Bryant may not even be able to play in the All-Star game.
Because he rolled that ankle against us.
If anybody deserves to be in there with the way that they're playing, it's
Rendon. I honestly think that Rendon's having a better year than Chris Bryant.
I think he is.
It's just like it's just a celebrity factor, like back when fans used to vote Kobe Bryant in when Kobe was out, wasn't even playing the whole season.
And same with Allen Iverson and like T-Mac and stuff. They get voted in just off of name. That's the problem with fan voting. Fan voting, it does get very biased.
Can you imagine if the NFL had fan voting? Do you know how many fucking the Cowboys punter would be on there?
Yeah, it used to be like that, like almost exactly. But like now the NFL got smart with it. Now they're like, also we pull the player or we pull the coaches, we pull all these people. So thank God that they do that.
I mean, they're all pro. I really like the way they do it.
Yeah, the all pro teams are fucking.
I just think it's so dumb to do it before the Super Bowl. I just don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean they tried to change it up because the Pro Bowl gets no attention. Like nobody, you're not. I might stop and watch the MLB All-Star Game because I want to watch the home run derby and stuff like that. Like I might watch the NBA because it's fun and they have like dunk contests, even though it sucks now. But like it's also just cool to see. But like the footballs is just like nobody's hitting. They don't play defense. They don't really have any cool skill competition. So it's just like all right. Yeah. And then on top of that, when you do hit, people like Sean Taylor, people get hurt, and then it's just like, all right.
The NFL has royally screwed up the Pro Bowl.
They have.
You need to bring back the fastest 40. You need to bring back the quarterback target. You need to bring back the strongest man.
They started to do that a little bit this year, but they didn't build up for it at all.
Right.
Like it used to be like something that was like a big thing. This year they barely, like I didn't hear about it. I didn't know that they were doing that until it came on.
Like I really believe that it should be the ideas. I'm just like trying to come up with ways to make the Pro Bowl fun and competitive. And the one thing that keeps blaring out to me is you allow the guys that were on each team's practice squad that didn't ever get brought up. You allow them; they're now eligible to play in the Pro Bowl. And anybody who is an undrafted free agent just sitting down that wants to come out and try out. Because now you're having guys go out there and prove that they can play. Just saying, hey, look, there's one more tape on you.
Yeah,
go
but
out there and prove it.
That's basically like a college all-star game.
Well, exactly, but you're still getting the same amount of looks now because nobody's watching it because there's nothing playing.
But
nobody's playing defense.
But then there's no star power or anything like that.
Well, granted, but there's other ways around that.
I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, granted.
Personally.
But I mean, if there was somebody,
if they did that like as a pregame or something like that, like something before the Pro Bowl, definitely, I would 100% watch it.
Like if I knew that there was a couple practice squad players from the Redskins that we wanted to see that we weren't able to see practice and because they never suited up.
Last time we saw them was preseason.
I would love to be able to go see them go against other teams.
Definitely.
That's what I mean by this and saying like.
But me and you are also weird sports fans where we like shit like that.
That's
the
true.
rest of America's not like.
But I honestly believe that after the Super Bowl, I mean, if you give it a couple weeks, maybe a month after,
they have to put it up.
I think some people would be like, look, It's football.
Especially that's true. Especially now because so many players, because they do rely on the superstar factor so much, but so many players, if their team's going to the Super Bowl, they're not going to make it, or they're not going to go, they're not going to play. So then it's just all right, automatically Tom Brady's out, and all these players from the Patriots and other teams and stuff like that, and they're just out, and it's all right, cool, now what? Now we get to watch, instead of watching Tom Brady, we get to watch Andy Dalton. Yeah. So they definitely have to switch it till after the Super Bowl.
I think it goes directly into nobody playing defense or playing hard. I think that is what's killing. That's what's killing it. And you have to find a remedy or something to fix it. Something.
Well, there's really not much they can do. It's because of the whole concussion thing. No player wants to get hurt.
Right.
Nobody wants to risk themselves. Why would they?
Yeah.
And they got to put some incentive in there, for players to play, make extra money a good amount of extra money if you do this. I mean, they tried to do that, but it's the winning team gets a certain amount of money.
Honestly,
that's cool. But
I wouldn't be against the flag football. I wouldn't be against it.
Well, they have those. They used to do those legend games, which were fun to watch, where they would have Elway's team versus Marino's team, and they would quarterback those in flag football games. Those were actually pretty fun.
Yeah, those are fun.
But the Pro Bowl, they tried to spice it up, where Team Sap versus Team
and then you
Carter,
draft
the players, and that was so dumb.
It's really stupid. But I think that if you do flag and you have to have rushers, though. I mean,
that's the only thing. I wouldn't really want to watch flag football, though.
Yeah,
they're kind of in a bind. There's really nothing that they can do.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
that sucks.
It really does.
Damn, that's depressing. They can't do anything. No, I mean, shit. Come on,
make better protective equipment. I don't know.
Yeah, come on, Roger Goodell, you're smarter than that. Or make there no safety equipment. I would watch that. No equipment, just balls to the wall, and you have to hit. And you have to play defense.
Oh my god!
Nobody would do it, but I would love to watch that.
Yeah.
Or just have the top players fight.
Dude, just pay a bunch of dudes fucking $100 just to come out and play. I just want to see a bunch of idiots run around and hit each other.
But shit, I'd watch that if it was a pregame for the Pro Bowl. Fuck yeah.
I would love to do that. Tell it the tailgate game. Just have them chug a bunch of beers and watch people throw up and get hit.
Yeah, that
would jack ratings up.
That's the best thing that I could think of. That's the only. I would do it. I'd play. I'd be terrible.
You could think with my idea before with overtime of saying that in the Pro Bowl there's no punting.
Yeah, that's true.
That would spice it up. Guys just bombing down the field, just doing it ever possible.
Yeah. Only kicking in game-winning situations.
Yeah. I would love that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Kick a field goal back.
It's a lot better than what we're watching now.
Anything's better than what we're watching now. Nobody's even watching it. That's a problem, too, because it's not exciting. It's not fun. It's not pointless.
It sucks.
It's just terrible. I remember being so excited.
The Pro Bowl is so boring and so stupid that I'm about to change the subject to the Nationals.
Yeah,
to baseball.
Let's get back to Nationals.
Because all my friends fry me. I'm like, dude, baseball's boring. I'm like, dude, no, it's not.
No, you
screw yourself. Yeah,
it's boring if you don't understand it.
Yeah. But Hizer has been telling me he's getting into it more and more.
Good. Around this area, everybody should be into baseball.
Yeah.
Everybody should be into the Nationals. They're a very good team. The people don't respect that or what we have. That's what got me into hockey. They were just good.
The Caps, yeah.
They just started to get good. Other than that, I never really cared about hockey too much. But I watch it now. They're a good team.
Hockey's definitely a sport I love to play. It's just fun to play.
Oh yeah, hockey's awesome.
Hockey's like soccer. It's easier to watch hockey than it is soccer.
Yeah, I'm not a big soccer guy. I can't stand soccer. I'm not. Maybe it's because I'm American and I need more than just a ball and a flat surface to play a game because we're not a third world country. But I don't know.
Dude, it's amazing. We go play at Butler's Orchard.
World Cup's fun.
Yes, it is. World Cup is a lot of fun.
That's
yes,
interesting.
Right. But we go play soccer every Wednesday. It actually goes on now. We can't do it because I record the podcast now. Yeah. But it's at Butler's. It's the white guys versus the Mexicans.
Oh.
And I cannot tell you how many
people say racism is still alive.
Even the white guys that played on Maryland and other stuff like this, great guys that are good at soccer. You see them get the ball at their feet, right? And it's 2 yards ahead of them when they kick it and they're running with it, and it's easy for the Spanish dudes to run up and just take it from them. When you watch these Spanish guys dribbling a ball, it's glued to them like a magnet. Every time they kick it, it's coming right back to them. And it's dude, there's something to be said here because you guys are just fucking awesome at this.
Yeah, they're too good.
It's just so natural.
It's like watching Pele highlights, watching him cross people up and stuff. The ball was always so close to him. That's ugh. Well, it's the white people. White people get too comfortable with shit.
One of the reasons why I can't stand soccer is the flopping.
Yeah, it's just, for me, it's just so boring. I get that there's a lot of running, but there's not a lot of actual action.
Yeah.
And then, like, when there is action, if somebody gets slide tackled, then they act like they snapped their leg in half. And I'm like, damn, this guy's hurt. Let me watch this highlight again. It must be cool. And he didn't even get touched. And you're like, oh.
The one aspect that I got told by a soccer player as to why they did that is because, like, they're obviously running, like, miles, like 30 miles a game, like something outrageous like that.
It's became strategy now, too, to try to get players out of the game.
Well,
and stuff.
Just give them rest.
Right.
So you lay there, act hurt, to give them an extra minute or so to catch their breath, you know? So I understood that, but still, I'm not going to watch it with that, because like with America, it's like, you know, all these sports that we play, you know, it's manly, it's brawn, you know, it's high-powered hits.
Tight.
Yeah, you know, it's fast, everything. And with soccer, seeing these guys just wipe out and act like somebody just shot them, you know, it's a huge turnoff.
Yeah. Ugh. I like to be turned on during sports.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I watch baseball.
Yeah.
Bryce gets me going.
It's true.
It's crazy, too, that boxing has fallen off.
It's not the wooden bat that you get sized over.
No, it's Bryce Harper's head of hair.
Oh, really?
I love it. It's crazy that boxing fell off, too. Like, I remember growing up and stuff in, like, the 90s, and, like, I guess that was kind of, like, the end of boxing being good. But boxing used to be so awesome. But then you got stuff like UFC and all these other things coming up and just kind of taking control. Nobody gives a shit about boxing really that much anymore. But that's why now you see these super fights and stuff like that, like Mayweather Pacquiao and now Mayweather McGregor.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
I was at my uncle's house when Tyson bit off Vander Holyfield.
Yeah, I was at my grandfather's house.
I will eat your children.
Yeah. Mike Tyson, he does. Yeah, what did he say in that one fight? He was like, "Yeah, I broke my back," and they're like, "Oh, what kind of injury was it?" Spinal.
You're
just like, okay. Was it a vertebrae? What did you do?
Oh my god!
Mike Tyson was so funny.
Now Kith.
Mm-hmm. I was watching some of his highlights the other day. That dude,
his left hook,
god,
dude, ridiculous.
Dude, all of his every fucking punch that he would throw.
Speaking of left hook, did you see the training videos for McGregor and Mayweather?
Yes, the one. Those kind of people kind of blew up about McGregor punching those bags and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, he's too slow. You got to be quicker than that." First of all, he was punching a heavy bag. He was. Second of all, they were actually doing a photo shoot while he was doing that, so he wasn't hitting so hard. He was hitting trying to, you know, get a good picture and stuff like that. But people blew it. They're like, "Oh, you think that's going to touch Mayweather?" And I get it. He probably couldn't touch Mayweather anyway. But take that with a grain of salt, kind of. That wasn't like him going full force and punching as hard and quick as he can. Like,
I've said from the jump, it doesn't matter how slow his hands are. I mean, it doesn't. He just has to block well. I mean, what did I say the first time we talked about this? I said, let Mayweather's the one that this the one aspect of this that nobody's looking at.
Right.
Is that Mayweather is always the one where guys are coming and saying, this guy runs his mouth, I'm going to kick this shit at him and prove him a lesson. So they come out fast. They come out hard. Yeah. And it's easy for Mayweather to sit back in that defensive stance. Let them get tired, and then work himself in and just win the rounds.
I think one thing that I was listening to, Joe Rogan brought up a very good point. The psyche, Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor is literally the only person that Floyd Mayweather has been in the ring with that can literally say, I can beat the shit out of you if I want to. Conor McGregor could. He could beat the shit out of him. If that was a UFC fight or an MMA fight,
I mean,
Mayweather would have zero chance.
Even if it was a street fight.
Right.
Mayweather,
he kicks, he submissions,
McGregor
all that stuff.
would snap him in half.
What do you think Mayweather would do if it was just reaction and like Mayweather threw a punch and Conor just leg kicked him? First time that dude gets leg kicked by Conor McGregor, he would be like, holy shit, this is real.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what?
Yeah.
And then McGregor could go for a takedown, take him down, he'd beat the shit out of him. Like, as soon as you don't expect that left leg coming up all high, there's
something to be said about an athlete saying, I'm going out of my comfort zone to come to yours.
Right. And that's literally what he said.
And to fight you, because you look at it and think about asking Mayweather to do UFC.
Yeah.
There's
no chance.
He would get his leg snapped in half.
He would that match would be over in the first round.
Yeah, it would be ridiculous. And so the guy has balls. Yeah. Obviously he's making $100 million. Good for you.
McGregor was like, I know, since you won't come into my world, I'll go into your world. Yeah. I will do that. And that's true that if it was an MMA fight, like, at least now McGregor kind of has like a puncher's chance. It's very low, but he does. But if it was an MMA fight, no. That's why Floyd would have a 0% chance.
I give McGregor like a 5% chance just because of saying like, so like every fight that Floyd has gone in, Floyd is McGregor in the boxing world. Right. The guy that's rambunctious, is loud,
He's always
obnoxious.
in the news.
And so these fighters, these boxers look at him and say, you know what? I'm going to beat the shit out of him when I come up. And they come out firing. They're working. They're getting tired. And, Mayweather, round by round, gets it. Well, this time around, it's completely different. And Mayweather's not going to have that same mindset because now McGregor's the one with the mouth.
Right.
And McGregor has the one that doesn't have anything to prove because as soon as McGregor steps into that ring, he already won.
He already made money.
Because he already came out of his octagon to say, you know what, I'll come into your ring and fight you. Right. I don't care about this.
Right.
He already won. Mayweather's the one that has to represent boxing. Mayweather's the one that has to show that boxing is still the pedigree that it's at.
Right.
And so he has the mindset of saying, you're all cocky. I have to prove it to you. And maybe Mayweather, hopefully, just gets out of defensive stance, get that defensive mindset, and just tries to get McGregor more and more and just get him tired.
Yeah.
Get him tired. And I think that opens up the 5% chance for McGregor to make that sweet chin music.
I hope so, but without his foot, though.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be tight, though.
Yes.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think that would be so funny if, just a month before, they're like, you know what? Just make this a kickboxing match or something.
Yeah.
Because, McGregor going from UFC to boxing, he has to worry about less. He just got to worry about using his hands. But Mayweather going from boxing to UFC, all of a sudden he's got to worry about using his legs. He's got to worry about getting taken down. He's got to worry about getting choked. He's got to worry about all these submissions. He's got to worry about a left leg coming in from nowhere. That would be so funny to watch. But Mayweather's smarter than that.
One of the biggest obstacles for McGregor is now fighting with actual boxing gloves on.
Yeah.
Because
huge.
UFC, the pound differential I think is by I think 2 pounds. But you look at it and say, oh well, that's not that much. That's not that much at all. But when you're talking about 12 rounds and throwing hundreds of punches, it takes a real toll.
They had I forget who it was. It was some fighter. They had him punch bare knuckled and then hit a bag. They were measuring it all, and then hit with UFC gloves. And then hit with boxing gloves. And the difference was night and day between the boxing glove, obviously, and the UFC. Or, no, the boxing glove and the regular hand, that was night and day.
Yeah.
But it was still a lot less than, the of impact.
Yeah.
So it takes more, obviously, to hurt somebody with boxing gloves.
Yes.
So it's going to be weird to see. McGregor's so comfortable using those MMA gloves. And I'm telling you, man, I just want to see him just accidentally kick Floyd, just out of reaction. I just want to see what would happen if you gave him a head kick real quick and it was just oh, fuck it, man, I'm the best in the world.
I would say it's ridiculous to say this, but I would love for McGregor, before they made this matchup and everything, to say, hey, all right, I'll come in and do the boxing ring, but we got to use UFC gloves.
Yeah, that would be so funny.
Dude,
that'd be awesome.
Floyd would getting worked.
Getting caught with one of those. I just hope that, I hope that McGregor does win. I really do. I love McGregor. And then I hope that Floyd wants a rematch and McGregor's only if you go into the octagon. Yeah. And then they fight to the death.
I just don't see it happening. I think Mayweather...
Death fight. Oh, yeah, Mayweather's 100% going to win.
He rides off on the horse.
He is.
With his hundreds
and hey, got to give it to him. For as dumb as that dude is, he can't read apparently and stuff. Yeah. He is the smartest fighter of all time, just because he takes no punishment. And he just sits and waits, and he doesn't really throw punches, and he's never been knocked down, and he's just smart about it. He was worried about his future. He hasn't taken many big blows. He gets that last laugh.
You look at guys like Muhammad Ali and seeing the Parkinson's and everything. It really sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible. And he played it smart.
He did.
Mayweather did. Got to give him that.
Yeah.
Got to give him. And he's made a lot of fucking money doing it.
Yeah.
So good for him.
He came in with the same mindset McGregor did. So if you love McGregor for being as obnoxious as he is, that's what Floyd was. Mm-hmm. And you're just racist if you don't like Mayweather because of it, Because they are the same person, almost to a T.
Yeah. They're very fucking similar. I think the funniest things in the world, though, are watching McGregor make fun of people, when he was making fun of Nate Diaz and stuff. When they were in they're on a news station, and the news reporter's like, all right, guys, just calm down, count to 10, and then McGregor's like, Nate can only count to 5, and he's just saying these comments, and he's so fucking funny.
He's an Irishman, man.
Yeah, she's like, go get your coffee. He's like, yeah, Nate, you hear that? Go make me some coffee, bitch. And he's saying stuff, and Nate Diaz is just like, all right, dude, all right.
McGregor is perfect for UFC.
McGregor he really would be perfect for fucking WWE too.
He really would.
He would be. He's so funny. But
better than LeVar Ball.
Anybody's better than LeVar Ball.
That's true. That's very good.
All right, we are just about wrapping up. You got any parting thoughts? You got anything you want to say?
Yeah. Facebook, what the hell, dude? You gave You gave the Ball family a TV series, a family TV series.
I knew that was coming. I could just.
My God,
it
man.
makes too much sense.
They're suffocating me.
They are, but no matter what, they're like must watch.
First the Kardashians, now the Balls.
Ugh.
That's what it's going to be, dude.
I hope not.
And they're trying to make it cool with basketball.
But the only thing is they don't have any hot kids. That sucks. Like, imagine, like, you go from looking at, like, Kylie and Kendall to looking at LaMelo. Ugh! That kid is so ugly. He's one of the ugliest people I've ever seen.
You're looking at two manufactured and surgically people.
But
and then you're
manufactured and surgery people that you want to make sex to.
They didn't look alike before, and then they got surgically repaired, and now they look the same.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, now they look exactly the same.
Yeah, but
after the surgery.
They're all...
It's like they have a blueprint of what to look like.
Even Chloe's hot now, I feel like. Yeah, have you seen her lately? I know. I'm ashamed of it, too.
Cool. I'm glad that she is dating Tristan Thompson. Gave him that ill.
She is like Urlacher size.
She's OJ's daughter, dude. We talked about this.
I know. She might be. It's OJ's fault for the Kardashians. Anyway.
Yeah.
You see all that thing?
No, but you know that's bullshit, right?
I believe it because pretty sure OJ met his wife in L.A.
He met her in L.A. at a restaurant. Yeah.
So it's not your fault, Bills.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
It's not your fault at all.
But
Don't worry
about it. All right, so let's hope that the Wizards can get Otto Porter back. Let's hope that the Nationals win some games, get some shit together. Let's hope Rendon gets voted into the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And then,
keep on the roll, fellas. Keep doing your thing. Come on, Nationals. We believe in you.
Right. Everybody
solidify this bullpen.
Yeah, solidify that shit. Everybody like and share. Also, everybody, give a big thank you to Andrew Robinson, Josh Wilkins, and Michael
Extraordinary
Winters. Extraordinary Entertainment. Also, that's just about it, man. Let's just live. I'm so hungry right now.
I'm
My
hungry
mouth
too.
is so dry.
Well, I appreciate you, Michael.
I appreciate you, Kyle.
Appreciate everyone listening.
Kyle.
Redskins football. Woo!